Welcome to the deep dive. We jump right in to help you get smarter faster.
That's the idea.
You're here because, well, you want to learn efficiently.
Mm.
And today, we're diving into English accents, something you hear, constantly.
Absolutely. Every time you listen or speak.
Our mission today is really to unpack why all this variety in accents actually matters.
And why aiming for one perfect English accent, it can actually hold you back.
Yeah, exactly. We've been looking at some interesting material on this, digging into texto colado.
It's quite striking, isn't it, how early language learning often paints this picture of just one right way to sound.
Totally.
But, when you actually look at English globally, I mean, think about it. The US, the UK, Australia, Canada, India,
So many places.
and loads of others where it's a daily language, that single standard. It doesn't match up with reality, does it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
And the source material really drives home that these aren't just tiny, insignificant differences.
No, not at all.
We're talking unique pronunciations, like how vowels sound completely different sometimes.
Uh-huh. And the rhythm, the cadence of speech.
And even vocabulary, words that mean one thing here, maybe something else, or just aren't used somewhere else.
And getting a handle on these variations is, well, it's just practical, super important for the real world.
Right.
Because if your ear is only trained for, say, standard American English.
Like in many courses.
Exactly. Then talking to someone with a strong Scottish accent or maybe an Indian English accent, it can suddenly become surprisingly tough.
Yeah, that comprehension barrier can pop up unexpectedly.
Yeah.
If you've only heard one voice type, encountering something different is a real adjustment.
It really is. Which brings us to that whole perfect English idea.
Ah, yes. The myth.
Often it gets tied to sounding like, I don't know, a BBC news reader or a specific type of American anchor.
Mm-hmm.
But as our source points out, chasing that single ideal, it can actually backfire.
Oh.
Well, think about the pressure it puts on you as a learner. This constant push to sound native, whatever that even means.
Right, it creates insecurity.
Loads of it. People get so worried about making a pronunciation mistake,
Yeah, I've seen that.
That fear actually stops them from just talking, from communicating freely.
Which is the whole point of learning a language in the first place.
Precisely. It overshadows the actual goal, making yourself understood, getting your message across.
So it's less about hitting some, perfect phonetic target.
Much less.
Yeah.
And more about clarity. Can the person you're speaking with understand you? That's the real test.
Okay, that makes sense.
Think about a simple word like water. You'll hear water, water, water. Different accents, right? But in context, are they understood? Almost always, yes. That's successful communication.
The source material really got me thinking about fluency, too. It doesn't just appear.
No, definitely not.
It builds up through practice, right? And through hearing lots of different Englishes.
Exposure is key. And also, crucially, accepting that mistakes are, well, they're just part of learning.
You have to be okay with messing up sometimes.
You really do. You need to hear diverse accents to train your ear. And you absolutely need to speak accent and all to get more fluent.
It reframes the goal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not this impossible peak of perfection.
It's more like a continuous journey, growth.
Right.
And when we normalize having an accent, when we accept that needing clarification is okay,
And that making mistakes is normal.
it just makes the whole learning environment much less stressful, more effective, actually. Like knowing jumper and sweater are the same thing, just different places. It helps.
And the takeaway seems to be that embracing this diversity, letting go of that stress about sounding perfect, it actually boosts your confidence. You become more open, more willing to engage.
And that willingness to engage, paradoxically, improves your fluency in communication far more than trying to mimic one specific accent ever could.
So the big message here, the key takeaway is shift your focus.
Exactly. Prioritize understanding people and making sure they can understand you. Let go of this phantom idea of a perfect accent.
Right. So for you listening right now, maybe pause and think about your own experiences.
Mhm.
Ever struggled with an unfamiliar accent? Or felt self-conscious about your own?
And then consider, how could actually embracing all this variety, really leaning into it, how could that change your learning journey? How could it improve your communication?
Definitely something interesting to mull over.